Well, boys and Asians, it's week 2 time. It's week 2 time. And surprise, surprise, BSPN projected everyone to be in the triple digits. I got something to tell you. It's not happening. It's never happened once before. It's not going to happen. Because bottom line is, you guys are not that good. Always in the beginning of the season, I say this year in and year out, beginning of the season, ESPN always blows up the numbers, makes them better than what you know they're going to be. Because I think it makes the average player, Ted, Josh, Hugo, Sexy Time, Cliff, Scott, Michael, Brad, all the average people out there feel better about themselves, so they will keep playing fantasy football on ESPN. But let me tell you something. It's not going to happen, guys. It's just not going to happen. But this week, since this is the first week that I'm actually doing these because of Scott and his wedding, blocked me out of doing it last week, we have the returning champion, the reigning champion, Wembley, versus Fraggle Boober, the two teams that I picked in the top tier of the league, even though one's coming in at 1-0, and one's coming in at 0-1. For this week's Game of the Week! So, let's dive into the matchup. Let's get into the grime for the Boober versus Wembley showdown to start it off. It really feels almost like San Francisco, Seattle, and, the battle of the two best teams in the league, even though they're only in the same division and they're not going to be able to meet each other in the finals. But we can meet each other in the finals because it's fantasy football and it's not regular football. So even though we're in different divisions, not different conferences and all that stuff. Anyhow, this is the game of the week. Boober is deciding to go with Michael Vick over RG3 after seeing RG3's horrible performance last week, even though he still got 20 fantasy points. Crazy enough. But he's going with Michael Vick against the San Diego defense. Gotta say it's a smart move. ESPN says 25 points. I say nay. Give him 19 points. That's still a lot, but it's not 25. Oh, I'm sorry. He's projected at 13. His average is 25. I actually think he's going to do way better than the 13. Give him 19. Running against him, Fraggle Wembley has Tom Brady starting. Definitely in between Brady and Kaepernick, but Seattle's defense, you don't want to take the quarterback going against Seattle's defense, so rather go with Tom Brady going against those porous New York Jets. Projected at 19 points. I think he's going to be sitting right around 20. So I kind of got to agree with him on that one. Running backs. For Boober, we have Adrian Peterson to be the muscle hamster, Doug Martin, Daryl Richardson, and Stephen Ridley. Luckily for him, even though Stephen Ridley is the reason why he probably lost last week, because of Vereen's injury, you're going to be seeing a lot of Stephen Ridley. That's only because Belichick can't go anywhere else. So 2 points last week, 15 points this week. We have a touchdown and 120 yards for Stephen Ridley against that Jets defense. Hopefully that touchdown's not on the ground and it's through the air for Mr. Tom Brady. Anyhow, Doug Martin, not a great week last week. Saved with a touchdown, only 40 yards, but he did get that touchy. He's going against New Orleans and their crappy defense. However, with the new Rob Ryan, you might see their defense. I'm sorry, not the new Rob Ryan. Rob Ryan finally got the hell out of there. Or actually, he's in there now because he came from Dallas. I was right the first time. Anyhow, see Doug Martin still having his yards. Give him 12 points instead of the projected 14. And Daryl Richardson, 9 last week against Atlanta. Look for Atlanta in Atlanta to be really stout against the defense. Give me only 6 points for Daryl Richardson this week. Over to Wembley, we have AP, Ray Rice, and Reggie Bush. We all know who they are. Right now, the number 1, number 2, and number 8 fantasy running backs in the league. I know it's after only week 1, but I can always dream. AP going against Chicago and their stout defense. Projected at 18. Give me 15 for AP. Without that big run in the first play, he would have had a really, really kind of crappy week last week. Ray Rice, look for him to have a pretty decent bounce back against Cleveland. He only put up 12 points last week. Give me 18 points for Ray Rice this week. Reggie Bush exploded for 30 points last week, going up against an Arizona team that's surprisingly decent defense. They're projecting him at 15. Give me only 10 points for Reggie Bush, falling a little bit down to earth this week. Receivers, we'll have Wembley go first on this one. Wes Welker and Danny I'm hurt again. I knew Danny Amendola might get hurt. I was actually sure Danny Amendola was going to get hurt, but that's why I got Deshaun Jackson in there, and in that flash offense that's all the rage today, I look for him to get 10 points, and Mr. Wes Welker, they're only projecting him at 7. When will ESPN learn that the white receiver is God? Anyhow, Wes Welker, give him 13 points. On to Boober's receivers. Man, Boober really does have a good team. Julio Jones, Reggie Wayne. Wayne with 15 points last week. Look for him to duplicate that this week. Julio Jones going projected at 14 this week. He had 11 last week against the St. Louis defense. Give him actually 16 this week. Having a very good week, unfortunately. Around 100 yards and a touchdown for him. At tight end, we got 2 of the stud tight ends. Tony Gonzalez, though he's old, he better score a touchdown, because if he doesn't, he's not getting many yards. He got 9 points last week, only 30 yards, but the touchdown. Look for him not to get in the end zone this time, but he still gets 40 yards. 4 points for Tony Gonzalez. Vernon Davis against the Seattle defense. He's picked them apart at times, and without Crabtree, if it keeps continuing, Bolden, Vernon. Give Vernon Davis a touchdown and a few yards. Give him 10 points this week. 10 points sounds good. Defenses, Seattle against San Francisco and San Francisco against Seattle. Both teams have opposing defenses. It's really the clash of the century. The clash of the week. The game of the week. Oh, man, I'm really excited. It's week 2, guys. It's week 2, and I'm 1-0. I'm 1-0 going against my nemesis this year, Mr. Teddy Ballgame, Fraggle Boober. Give both teams 4 points, some sacks, but they're going to both give up some points. Blair Walsh, Matt Bryant, both kick the shit out of the ball. Both will get about 7 points. Nothing big. I like exactly what Boober did. Wembley still has a decision whether he's going to keep Deshaun Jackson in or if he's going to go with, since Amendola is out, if he's going to go with newly going to be acquired, because I'm on the top of the waiver wire, Julius Edelman. Not sure which one I'm going to go with yet. Either way, I think they're going to score about the same. It's just depends. And hell, I might even go with Kendrick Tompkins. Who knows? Just to piss off Hugo when he goes off for 21 points and he's in my lineup instead of him. Anyhow, guys, this has been the wrap-up for this. Not the wrap-up. This has actually been the preview for this week's Game of the Week. Anyhow, I'll see you afterwards. Oh, wait. Did I forget to do a prediction? I'm sorry. The person with the no cards, they quit yesterday. I have no idea what's going on. The producer left earlier saying it's too late, that I wasn't getting ready. I didn't get in makeup until about an hour ago. Anyhow, predictions. We have Wembley with 118 points. Boober with 114 points. Wembley barely pushes through Boober, goes to 2-0, sending Boober in an early tailspin 0-2 that I do believe he'll pull himself out of. Unfortunately, he'll be the number 2 scorer this week, and I will be the number 1, not to be denied by Fraggle Gobo this week. Anyhow, peace out. 2 fingers. Playa.